Hey, I hope you can hear me well. It's 2:56 p.m. on Sunday, August 7th, 2022. I'm sitting here trying to think of a name for for the puppy that I've been calling Tux because that's what his mom's mom named him. But I've been, I don't know, uncomfortable with that name. So I've been sitting here thinking about it, and for some reason, you know who you are, but you ask about replicas and clones and all that. And that just popped into my head out of nowhere, like, whoa, wait a minute, I never answered this. So I've been in the back of my mind thinking about this so much on how to even answer this for a while. And it's been one of those things where it's like I keep thinking about it, but I don't do anything about it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that question. I don't know how to answer that. And it just popped into my head like, oh, wait, I do know how to answer that. And here's the answer. You can't really tell them apart. You can't really tell if you're a clone right now of yourself or if I'm a clone of myself. There is no way for me to be able to tell if I'm even a physiological human or something that looks human. There's no way for you to do that either. You can get all the blood tests you want. You can poke and prod and look all the way deep inside you want, but it doesn't matter because the body could have been made by technology that you simply have never seen. So it might look like bones and flesh and blood and AB negative or whatever positive O plus or whatever they are. But really that's what you've been told to think they are. So you could be a clone and not even know it because everybody else is one too. There's no way to tell. And if you're gauging it by what you perceive technology to be currently in the world, then you'll never figure it out. You have to think of the most unimaginable thing that could be done in like replicating something, and then recognize that there are civilizations millions of years older, wiser, more intelligent, that have gone beyond that. What your eyes could be looking at right now, the reality in front of you, could be nothing more than a distortion signal that is translated by your retinas and your ears as what you're perceiving. If you were upside down right now, the room would look totally different, but it's the same fucking room you're in. You could be staring at the wall and you think you're looking at a wall, but it could be a projection of some kind, some really highly advanced hologram. So when you're looking at anybody else, whether you're trying to figure out if they're reptiles or different aliens or replicas or clones or androids or cyborgs or artificial intelligence things, you can't tell. That's the genius of it. It's, I mean, unless you designed it, you wouldn't know that it's something that's been designed. Think about it. For all the human race knows, the entire human race is a clone species of two people. It's two people's genetics just cloned repetitively and altered through skin tones, through size and shape, and the golden ratio, but at different intervals. There's no way for you to tell, which is the point. Because one of the tests is, like, I think I can tell you this. One of the tests that humanity experiences is, can you treat each other with kindness no matter what you look like? And that has been answered as no. Now people are asking, are they even human? So is that another, another type of quote unquote racism thing that people want to start? Oh, that person's a replica. Their emotions aren't real. Oh, that person's a clone. Their emotions aren't real. Do they even have a soul? Oh, that's an android or a cyborg. It's not even organic. It's made out of, different metals and stuff. There's no blood. It's different oils. But what you guys aren't recognizing is that there's consciousness in there. That consciousness is, whether it's artificial, whether it's organic, whether it's whatever, it's still God. And it's looking back at you to see how you're going to treat it in all these different masks. Are you who you say you are? Are you kind? And if not, do you know why? I was watching a video or a clip from a video that Dorothy Rowe did with Malika. It was an interview, and they were talking about a sliver of Kali that is in the hearts of everybody, and it revels in destruction. And what that sliver wants is to be seen and returned home. It just wants to go back home. So when you recognize that your violent tendencies are nothing more than something that doesn't belong to you, it's something that interrupts who you are, then you can release that. You can choose different every time you get those sensations. It's similar to saying, oh, that person's a narcissist. They never feel, but they do. Narcissists do feel. They do have emotions. They just don't register them because what's the point? It's just more pain. You gotta remember, narcissists aren't born narcissists. They're made through pain. And empaths, yeah, everybody's born an empath, but every narcissist was also an empath first. And there's always hope. So when you're wondering who's what or what side is anybody on, ask yourself, why do you care? Because you're fighting some social justice war, or that you're rallying for something, or you're standing up for someone, you're defending someone, you're being chivalrous, noble, you know? Why do you care what someone else is? Whether they're transgender, straight, gay, lesbian, a giraffe, a reptilian, uh, a shepherd, a space alien, a Venusian, a Jupiterian, who cares? Are you kind to them? Can they talk to you like a person? Can they confide in you? How are you as a person? How are you as a representative of whatever you think you are? And this isn't just to the subscriber club that asks. This is to everybody. And I'm really expecting you guys by 4 years now to recognize when I'm saying you, I'm speaking to the entirety of the human race. I'm not speaking to one person. Like, I'm talking to everybody. You. Because you're listening. Whoever you are, there's multiple ears listening, therefore you. You're not in kindergarten anymore. I don't need to alphabetize and color coordinate the alphabet for you. So how can you tell that they're replicas or reptilians or what they are, or if they're a walk-in, or if they're who they are, if there's two spirits in them? First, ask yourself why it matters. Does that change how you treat them? Does that change how you expect to be treated? And why do you hold on to the need to think that violence will ever be the solution to anything, or the defense to anything? Think about it. It all stems from that. Oh, that thing's different. Do we have to break it or destroy it or trap it? or kill it. What if scientists came out and said there isn't a single human being that is genetically the same as anybody else? We made a mistake. We're all completely different. We're not related, and every single person is a stranger, including to their family. Surprise, plot twist. You're all aliens. Billions of them. Now what? You get along or you fight, right? So what does it matter if someone's a reptilian or a human or a hobbit or an elf? A fae or somebody who's a furry? Who cares? Are they nice? Are they honest? Are they loyal? Do they have God in them? Are they conscious? Are they wise? Are they respectful and respectable, loyal, trustworthy, grateful? Are they good? And I don't mean good versus evil. I mean, you know what I mean. It's not about good or evil. People can find a justifiable reason to commit any acts of evil, and they're like, we're doing it for the greater good. But the process of it is painful. So you can't divide it in that dualistic way. You know when someone's good. Kindness knows kindness. And if you don't, then, that's your first red flag. So don't worry about who's what or what they're doing or anything. Worry about what you're doing and why you distract yourself from what you're doing by worrying about what other people are doing. Let them be. Let them do whatever they want. Let them be whoever they want to be. Let them pretend. Let them copy. Let them replicate. Let them create this or that construct or matrices or whatever. Just let them self-implode if they have to. Let them succeed if they want to. Because in the end, it's all God playing the game with itself. Us holding a picket fence, us making videos and sharing, thoughts and conspiracies and whatever the fuck else. I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it? What matters is those moments we live between living, where we're just by ourselves and we don't have anything to do. We're just, there. So, who are you in those moments? Does that person really care what's going on outside your front door? Or do you care about what's going on inside your body? The life you live, the home you live in, the placement of the decorations and furniture you have, your environment, the way you take care of yourself, the way you think, the way you create. Those things are what's important. You can find any trillion infinite rabbit holes to jump into, and even more, religious and cults and stuff to follow, and even more gods and deities being made up and, deified and sanctified as if they're all canon. It doesn't matter. You'll find whatever you're looking for because you're creating it. Align yourself with what you want to experience. Organize your home. Organize your life. Bring order into the chaos of your soul. Chaos is okay once in a while when it creates order, when it helps order create more peace. But being lost in emotions and disorder without having a schedule, worrying about what other people are doing, extending yourself at work, being a doormat or being a walking sperm bank, like whatever the fuck you guys are doing out there in the world. Is this really the legacy you guys want to leave behind? A species that was so worried about what its family was doing, what its own members are doing, what its lovers are doing, what its children are doing, or absolutely not giving a fuck at all. Is that who you guys are, or are you people who are a global fucking family? There is no war on Earth because everybody has the common sense to know their family. talk it out or fucking fight it out, but don't start anything worse than a fist fight. Like, what's the deal, yo? I mean, look at all the freaking things of destruction that have been created against your siblings. It's embarrassing to even mention it. And the little dog has woken up and he's hiding under my chair. Let me see if I can show you because it's fucking adorable. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. What is it? Okay. Dang it. Oh, this way. There he is. This is right. Nope. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I can't move this camera. I'm like, I've created a tangled fucking mess over here. I don't know what to tell you. I hope the takeaway that you have with this message is that you guys treat each other better, regardless of what labels people tell you to put on each other. Can you just please? I feel like a school teacher in kindergarten and all the kids are just throwing shit at each other and I'm like, can you guys just sit down? Like, school just started. Like, life is just beginning. And look at what you guys are doing. Most of you are like, oh, it's the call of you guys, this or that. Like, still, why are you using that as an excuse? I mean, really, the lengths everybody's going to in one way or another to justify anything, myself included. Like, I've been realizing this so much about myself lately. And then people making shit up and justifying what they're doing based on made up shit. And then the people who use other people as scapegoats and sacrificial lambs and the people who pretend to care. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And then I see all these videos online about like, oh, there's walk-ins and these matrix constructs, and then there's other videos where they're like, Jesus is a lie and he never existed, and then others condemning Lucifer and like calling Mary a whore, and I'm like, what the fuck, you guys? And then it's not even getting into the fucking other social media in the world that I completely avoid. And the last time I checked it, I went into BitChute like 2 months ago just to see what the main page was at. And it was so much hatred towards everybody in positions of government. And I'm like, you guys, this is a fucking reflection of your body, and you're cursing the governance of your body. The governing mind of your body. That's what you guys are reviewing as the government. That's the metaphor. Like, snap out of it and fucking look at it. And you guys are like, oh, there's a fake, person in charge and they're ruled by a secret elite. Well, isn't that what you're doing to yourself? Your body's on autopilot, going to work, coming back, eating, sleeping, fucking shitting. And then there's a side of you that hates everything you're doing because it wants freedom and it sabotages you. Everybody has this. But when it's put out in front of you in reality TV or in politics or in wrestling matches, you're like picking sides and you're defending these people and you're arguing, hating each other over it. But you're not realizing you're being complete hypocrites. Complete, 100% hypocritical. Because everything you guys complain about with everyone else, you're doing yourself first, to yourself. This is something really harsh that everyone needs to comprehend. And I've been bitch slapped by the universe for so many decades and so many lifetimes, over and over and over. Please get it. Please. The entire life you're viewing is a fucking metaphor for your life and how you're treating your body, myself included. If we're not helping each other, we're not helping our inner organs. If we're not, communicating with each other, we're not communicating with our bodies. If we're looking for a God outside of us, we are ignoring the power that is consistently keeping us alive physically right now. If we keep destroying the fucking earth and then we're like, oh, we're aging. Well, surprise fucker, you're destroying the earth. You think the human race is going to keep living? You think any race that helped the human race destroy the earth is going to keep living? Did you think you guys were the highest on the spiritualist, most, frequency 12 dimension that there was? Where do you think the 12 dimensions are in? They're in another matrix controlled by another group of beings that you can't even begin to comprehend. And they're not even the limit, because beyond them is what you consider, maybe like aeons or something, like the highest thing next to the pleroma. But then even that, you guys don't realize the pleroma is just a place within an entire other fucking universe. And you guys are worried about replicas, clones, gays, lesbians, transgenders, baby daddies, husbands, moms, dads, cheating, bills, and money, and then cutting down trees to build a chair to sit on it under a tree. I mean, the insanity of this fucking species, and it's completely rooted in violence. Why? And then nobody asks themselves, why am I violent? I do. Why have I been violent? And do you have any idea how far I dug? Bro, I dug past the Balrog and the Balrog started helping me dig. Like, find your reason. I'm not sharing mine with you, but I made peace with it a while ago. And it broke my heart when I realized it. It wasn't anything prideful. It wasn't anything arrogant. It wasn't anything evil or nasty. It was about peace, order, God, and feeling completely abandoned and hated by the Creator. That every fucking thing I ever get in my life is just a slap in the face waiting to happen anyway. Here you go. Just kidding. Fuck you. That's been my life. So when I come to you like this and I tell you these things, I'm not expecting you to understand or comprehend what I'm saying whatsoever. But I'm hoping that enough of this light that I'm blasting at you will somehow shake the foundations of the crust you've hidden yourself under, that you think is you. I'm still not free of the crust. I don't think we'll ever be free of the crust until the good God and the good Mother God come down here and take us home, one by one, or all at once. But you have to break free of the crust, mud people. You have to break free. If it helps, look up the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. scene where, what's her name? Quake gets hit with a Terrigen mist, and then she gets encased in that crust. And then she's having like these weird hallucinations. She's seeing crazy shit. She's experiencing weird things. And then when the crust breaks, she has like these. She's who she is. She's not who she thought she was. She's actually who she is. Remember I told you about the Siege Perilous? Going through it, Roma in the fucking Marvel Comics, gave Psylocke the Siege Perilous, and going through that Siege Perilous, it takes you into a place where you have to confront yourself, who you really are, versus who you've allowed yourself to be by the choices you've made. And you get to witness this. You get to choose which one is the real you. And in the recent years, humanity has been going through this at a very slow rate because God is having mercy on many of you. Because God keeps hoping you guys get it. That's why someone like me is out in the world just not dealing with the BS. I'm cutting right to the point. This is the issue. If you can't see it, you have a lot of digging to do. If you can see it, then you should help other people see it. If you've done the work and you've healed from it, well, go back and build a bridge and help others cross it now. Sure, their path might be easier, but at least you're still moving forward, which means the path that they have to go after you build the bridge, they'll be able to build that themselves while you're still moving ahead and leading the way. And by the way, the next time somebody asks you to trust the process, ask them what the fuck the process is leading to. Who's the scientist behind the process? If they don't say God, walk away. You cannot deify another flesh and blood being while condemning another flesh and blood being of a different color, tone, or sexual anything. It's none of your business what the other person is. It's your business who you are, everyone, who we are, individually, psychically, mentally, spiritually, imaginatively, who we are to our family, who we are to our neighbors, who we are to our friends, who we are to the gas station attendant. Who do they see you as? We're taught not to think about this stuff, but we're so busy thinking about what everybody else is. No, who do they see you as? Get a little narcissistic. Start thinking about what people think of you. Start worrying about and caring about what people think of you. Maybe then the human race can actually start behaving better. Instead of allowing themselves to get so flaccid as a species that they can't even differentiate generations anymore, they go by decades and put alphabet letters next to them. And then all the movies you're seeing, replicas, reruns, copy pastes, reworks. Oh, reset. I mean, come on. And why? Because everybody's taught that different is bad. I, for one, would love to consciously know who the fuck is a replica and who's a reptilian and who's a what. Because I want to see you do cool shit. I want to see your world. Because mine so far has been very limited, boring, and painful. And I don't mean boring as in peaceful. I mean boring as in the same fucking pain over and over and over that I've become numb to it. Boring. Is this all the devil has? Because God's infinitely stronger, and I'm just really bored of these negative attempts by the devil's work. Because it's almost like it doesn't even exist. It's just a disorder in the mind. There's no actual devil. Because if you look at the human race, the harsh fucking truth of all of it is the human race is the devil. It's the devilish aspect of God in form. That is why humanity is capable of evil and violence. And they blame gods. The perpetual procrastinating projectors. The anthropos. Wasn't me. That's all they do. Wasn't me. Who did this? Wasn't me. Okay, who did that? Wasn't me. Who did that? Not me. Alright, well, who started this then? Let's pick a scapegoat. Come on, guys. We should be helping each other, regardless of what we are. If someone's a cyborg, help them be more empathic. If they're reptilian, help them be more, peaceful. Help them enjoy warm-blooded things. Learn how to be a little more cold-blooded in a positive way with them. If people are from Venus or the Pleiades, ask them how their civilizations work. How can we make ours better? Even if they're just other people, how was your day? What did you eat today? Did you have any cool insights? Did you notice anything weird and unusual in nature that nobody else really would have noticed but you did? What was it? You know? What does crying feel like to another species? Can they even cry? Do they laugh? Do they have, family units? Are any of them broken like some of us are? Do they love? And then we can get into the details of disassembling love, too. It's chemicals, it's energy, it's vibration, it's frequency, it's sensations. But it's also consciousness, isn't it? It's decisions being made, it's a perception, it's a knowing. Now imagine if every one of those was broken apart and somebody built a religion around each word I used, and then killed themselves over it. Ridiculous. An insane species. They're like, we have amnesia. Well, that was the point, because you guys have been insane for like millennia. Of course you have amnesia. You have no idea what you did the last time because it was so fucking horrible. You're welcome, by the way. And you guys are like, oh, there's this inner trauma in the human species. Yeah, it's because the entirety of the human species fucked up so bad. Like, there's an inner deep regret in everyone. And people are avoiding it. What is the regret? Y'all fucked up. How did you fuck up? That's for you to find out, isn't it? But you fucked up. At some point, you fucked up. Not just in this life, in another life. And it's not a punishment towards you. It's not a karmic thing. It's your own consciousness being hurt over something you didn't nurture yourself through. In some timeline, in some reality. Something so horrible that you couldn't forgive yourself over. Do some digging. Make friends with the Balrog. I love you.